Hello student, welcome back to another session of Computer Science Paper 2. Student, we'll be studying a new chapter called as Microcontroller. So chapter number 4, Introduction to Microcontroller. Now, before starting the microcontroller, we need to understand the difference between microcontroller and microprocessor. Now, what is microprocessor? That we have already known the chip which is installed in our computer. We called it as what? Microprocessor. Now, if you see the difference between the microprocessor and microcontroller, you can say that microcontroller can be used for online applications, whereas microprocessor can be used for offline application. So, let us see what is microcontroller in detail. Okay, so here the syllabus, what does this chapter covers? So it covers, first we'll see the introduction to microcontroller, study of 8051 features and programming model, overview of another microcontroller in 8051 family, applications of microcontroller and advantages of microcontroller over micro. What is microcontroller? Micro means very small and controller means a mechanism that controls the operation of a machine. That is nothing but microcontroller. Microcontroller are designed to perform specific tasks. So based on the inputs which are given to the microcontroller, it does some processing and it gives the result as an output. So here the input could be a user input or the input which is coming from a sensor. So the example of microcomputer application is in digital camera, washing machine and micro oven. So this is nothing but microcontroller. So what is a microcontroller? Micro means very small and mechanism or controls the operation. That is nothing but microcontroller. So before starting with the microcontroller, the applications of microcontroller is in digital camera, washing machine and micro oven. Some of the application of microcontroller. So if you see all these devices that takes which is going to perform a predefined task, like in case of micro oven, once you set the power and timing, it gives you the cooked food. Likewise, in the case of washing machine, once you set the parameters of the machine, it gives you clean and dry clothes. So basically a microcontroller is used in application where the task is predefined. Okay, so here we are setting the timing, we set the timing, we program it, and then it does the work as per the set predefined task. Clear? So let us define microcontroller. So here by definition of microcontroller is a complete microprocessor system, but it has limited amount of memory, limited amount of RAM, limited amount of ROM or EEPROM and input-output port, and all they are integrated on a single chip. It is in fact a microcontroller, but it is called because it is used to perform a control function. As we discussed, it is used to perform what control control function, so that is why it is called as microcontroller. It is more complex than the microprocessor because it consists of many input and output components. Clear? So a microcontroller is a complete microprocessor system consisting of microprocessor, limited amount of ROM or EEPROM, RAM and input-output port built on a single integrated ICs, a single chip. So it has a CPU, RAM, ROM, input-output devices, right? that is nothing but input output port, timer and serial COM port. It is used to perform control function. A microcontroller is more complex than the microprocessor because it consists of many input-output components. That is nothing but microcontroller. So we will see some features of 8051 microcontroller. Now the questions come in exam for 3 marks or it may come for 4 marks. So obviously if it comes for 3 marks you have to write 6 features, and if it comes for 4 marks then you have to explain at least 8 features. So let us have a look on the features of 8051. There is no need of to draw the block diagram of 8051. Only the features of 8051 comes in the exam. For better understanding, I have shown the block diagram of 8051. So Number one, it has an 8-bit ALU. We already know what is ALU, that is nothing but arithmetic logic unit. So 8051 microcontroller has 8-bit ALU. Okay, ALU is arithmetic logic unit. Then number two, it has 4-bit kilobyte of ROM. Okay, how much is ROM? 4 kilobyte of ROM. Then next, it has 128 bytes of RAM. RAM, that is nothing but 128 bytes of RAM. So ROM is 4 kilobytes and RAM is 128 kilobytes. So you can see how limited memory it has as compared to the microprocessor. Then it has dual 2 timer, 16-bit timer, event counter. So 2 timer 0 and timer 1. 32-bit input output lines for 4 8-bit input output port, and can address 64 kilobyte of program memory. Okay, program memory is ROM, and it can address 64 kilobyte of data memory, that is RAM. Two external interrupts are there, so it has two external interrupt, right? So here, see, here it is shown two external interrupt. The clock up to 12 megahertz frequency. So how much is the frequency? Up to 12 megahertz. So these are the features of 8051. Let us very fast revise the features of 8051 microcontroller. 8-bit arithmetic logic unit, 4 kilobyte of ROM, 128 bytes of RAM, dual 16-bit timer, 32 I/O lines for 4 8-bit input output port, and it can address 64 kilobyte of program memory and 64 kilobyte of data memory. Two external interrupts, and clock it, the speed is 12 megahertz frequency. Memory mapping of 8051 microcontroller. This is the diagram, memory mapping diagram of 8051 microcontroller. If you see here, 8051 address has two separate memory space. The number one is called the program memory space, whereas the number two is called as a data memory space. So if you will see the diagram, see the two memory space has drawn. The first memory space is called as program memory space, and the second space is called as a data memory space. So we have to study what is program memory space and what is data memory space. So 8051 address has two separate memory spaces, that is program memory space and data memory space. The program memory space is a read-only memory space. So basically if it is read-only memory space means what you can only read into it, but you cannot write into it. So it is used for storing the program and variables data. It is possible to read a program instruction as I said, but we cannot write a data into this memory. All the instruction fetch are taken from the program memory space. So basically where we store we store the data into program memory space. So all the instruction we fetch that we take from their program memory. Now, this is nothing but program memory. The program memory space is the read-only memory space, that is ROM space. This memory is used for storing program and variable data. It is possible to read the program instruction from this space, but the processor cannot write data in this memory. All the instruction fetch are taken from program memory space. Is it clear? That is nothing but program memory space. Now the next is called as data memory space. In data memory space, a data memory space is both you can read and also you can write the data in the memory space. In this read and write memory space, a processor can read the data and the processor can write also into this. We cannot execute the instruction from this memory space. 8051 and internal ROM is the data memory space. So basically ROM, it comes inside the program memory space, and RAM, it comes inside the data memory space. So in the data memory space you can do both the things. You can read also and you can write, but you cannot execute the instructions from this memory space. Is it clear? That is nothing but data memory space. The data memory space is a read write memory space. The data processor can read the data from this memory space and write the data to this memory space. It cannot execute the instruction from this memory space. 128 byte of internal RAM provide general read-write data storage. Some part of this is often referred to as register. Clear? So the 128 byte of internal RAM, the C from 0000 to 007F, that is 128 byte of internal RAM provide the general read write data storage. We have already studied 8051 and found that it has how much amount of RAM? It has 128 byte of RAM. So the 128 byte of internal RAM provide the general read-write storage, right? And the 8051 has 22 special functions. See this from 0080 to 00F8, that is 22 special function register, which is not the part of this 128 kilobyte of RAM. They occupy the memory space from 0080 to 00F8H, right? So 8051 has 22 special function register, see over here, which is not the part of 128 byte of RAM. They occupy the memory space from 80H to F8H. Is it clear? Then the 4 kilobyte of 4 kilobyte of program memory can be expanded by an additional of 60 kilobyte, right, from the 1000 to FFFF. So it can be expanded to how much? 60 kilobyte. See what 64 kilobyte of program memory. So it can address 64 kilobyte of program memory. So additional how much memory? 60 kilobyte of, it can be expanded to 60 kilobyte of memory, right? The data memory can also be expanded to 260 kilobyte of memory. So in the feature we already studied that it can address up to 64 kilobyte of program memory and it can address up to 64 kilobyte of data memory. So the 4 kilobyte of program memory, and you can expand up to 60 kilobyte, right? So you can make it what 64 kilobyte of data memory. In the same way you can make 64 kilobyte of the program memory. So you can expand the program memory to more to 60 kilobyte. Similarly, you can expand the data memory also up to 64 kilobytes. See, it is shown this. You have highlighted this. You have shown that it can be expanded. Both the program memory as well as the data memory can be expanded, okay, up to 64 kilobytes. So we are seen in the features of 8051. So this was nothing but memory mapping of 8051. Student, if the question comes on the memory mapping of 8051, you have to draw the diagram and you have to explain the program memory and the data memory and how it can be expanded. So now it's easy to draw the diagram of 8051 memory mapping. Clear, student? So you have to draw, it comes for 4 marks. You have to draw the diagram and explain program memory and data memory. So we have seen the features of 8051. We have seen the memory mapping of 8051. 8051 is a second generation microcontroller. So let us see the list of all the microcontroller of 8051 family. The first one is 8048, 8049, 8050, 8052, 8031, 8032 and 8052 AH basic. See, these all are the microcontrollers of 8051. The Intel first microcontroller was 8048. 8048, 8049, 8050, all these have identical architecture with the separate a different memory size. Okay, each one of this, as the generation proceed, the memory doubles in each case, right? So 8048 supports 1 kilobyte of internal memory, wherein 8049 supports 2 kilobyte of internal memory, and in 8051 supports 4 kilobyte of internal memory. So as they all are of the same generation, they all are identical except the memory space went on doubling, right? 8052 is simple expansion of 8051. So it is nothing but expansion of 8051. So it has 8 kilobytes on onboard ROM and 256 bytes of onboard RAM. 8031 and 8032, these are the alternating version of 8051 and 8053. So the alternate version of 8051 and 8052 are 8031 and 8032. The another form of 8052 is 805 HS Basic. This special 8052 has basic programming language in ROM. Okay, so this 8051 was used the basic language for programming, and the programmer can write the instruction for this 8051 rather than in assembly language. So here, instead of using the assembly language in this microcontroller, they can write using the basic language. Clear? So these are nothing but the list of microcontroller of 8051 family. In the next lecture, we are going to see the features of each of this microcontroller in detail. So in exam there comes the features of this microcontroller other than 8051. Clear? So student, in today's lecture we have seen what do you mean by microcontroller, how it differs from microprocessor, Then the feature of 8051 microcontroller, the memory mapping of 8051 and the other members of 8051. In the next lecture, we'll see the features of the other members of 8051 microcontroller and we'll see the comparison between this family members. Clear? So we came to the end of Introduction to Microcontroller session 1. Thank you.